The village of Ashwood was a forgotten place. Nestled beside a lake old as time itself, it was a place of shadows and secrets. Generations had lived and died under the watchful gaze of the lake. A presence lurked beneath its placid surface, a presence that haunted their dreams and fueled their nightmares. The elders spoke of it in hushed tones, a creature of immense power slumbering in the depths. They told tales of sacrifices offered to appease its hunger, tales whispered around flickering candlelight, sending shivers down the spines of children. The lake was their lifeblood, providing sustenance and solitude, but it was also a source of constant fear, a fear that ran as deep and dark as the lake itself. The villagers knew the lake's price. Every few years it would claim one of their own, a fisherman lost in the fog, a child playing too close to the edge. Their disappearances were always sudden, unexplained. The lake would offer no clues, swallowing its victims whole, leaving behind only ripples and whispers on the wind. Each disappearance strengthened the village's belief in the ancient pact. A life for a life, a sacrifice to appease the slumbering beast. This time, the lake had taken young Anya, a girl with eyes as blue as the summer sky and a laugh that echoed through the valley. Her absence hung over the village like a shroud, a constant reminder of the unseen danger lurking beneath the surface. Anya had vanished on a day like any other. The sun was setting, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple. She had been playing by the water's edge, her laughter carrying on the breeze. Then, silence. Her parents found her toys abandoned on the shore, a single doll lying face down in the mud, a chilling premonition of what was to come. Panic surged through the village. The villagers gathered by the lake, their faces etched with fear and disbelief. The lake had taken one of their own, but this time it felt different. This time the fear was palpable. Torches blazed through the night, casting flickering shadows on the water, creating an eerie dance of light and dark. The villagers searched desperately, their calls echoing across the lake, a chorus of hope and despair. But the lake offered no answers, only silence, a silence that seemed to mock their efforts. A silence broken only by the lapping of water against wood and the mournful cries of Anya's mother. Days turned into nights, and the search continued. Hope dwindled with each passing hour, the weight of uncertainty growing heavier on their hearts. The villagers refused to give up, their determination fueled by a mixture of love for Anya and primal fear of the unknown. They dredged the lake, scoured the shoreline, searched every nook and cranny. Their efforts proved futile. Anya was gone, vanished without a trace, swallowed whole by the lake, leaving behind a void that threatened to consume them all, a darkness that seemed to grow with each passing moment. But as they searched, they began to uncover something else, something hidden beneath the surface, something far more sinister than they could have imagined, a discovery that would change everything. Section 5. Murky depths, murkier truths. The fishermen, their faces grim, returned with tales of strange occurrences. Their nets were torn to shreds, their boats tossed about like toys by unseen forces. They spoke of large, shadowy shapes moving beneath the surface. Shapes that dwarfed their boats. Shapes that sent shivers down their spines. The elders, their faces etched with fear and resignation, confirmed their worst fears. The stories passed down through generations were true. Something was stirring in the depths, something ancient and evil. The creature, they whispered, was not a myth. It was real, and it was hungry. Section 6. Terror awakened. Panic gripped the village, spreading like wildfire through the narrow cobblestone streets. The whispers turned to screams, echoing through the night air, piercing the silence with their terror. The fear, once a distant murmur, now roared in their ears, an unrelenting force that consumed their every thought. They had tried to appease it, offering sacrifices in exchange for peace, hoping to quell the darkness that loomed over them. But the creature was not satisfied. It had tasted blood. And it craved more, an insatiable hunger that could not be sated. The villagers barricaded themselves in their homes, their faces pale with terror, hearts pounding in their chests. The sound of hammering echoed through the night as they boarded up their windows and reinforced their doors, a desperate attempt to keep the horror at bay. But they knew, deep down, that it wouldn't be enough. The dread was palpable, a heavy weight on their souls. Nothing could stop what was coming. The inevitable doom approached, unstoppable and merciless. The lake, once a source of life, was now a harbinger of death, its waters dark and foreboding. Its surface churned and bubbled, as if the creature itself was struggling to break free, a monstrous force beneath the waves. The air grew thick with a primal fear, a fear as old as the village itself, an ancient terror that had awakened once more. Section 7. Claws of Fear. The first attack came without warning. A deafening roar shattered the night, followed by the splintering of wood and the screams of villagers. The creature had breached their defenses. Its claws, razor-sharp and dripping with slime, tore through flesh and bone with ease. Those who dared to look upon the creature were met with a sight that would forever haunt their nightmares. It was a grotesque amalgamation of scales, teeth and tentacles. Its eyes, glowing with malevolent intelligence, seemed to mock their fear. The village descended into chaos. The screams of the dying mingled with the desperate cries of those trying to escape. But there was nowhere to run. The creature was everywhere. Section 8. The Ancient Hunger. The survivors, their numbers dwindling with each passing moment, made their final stand against the relentless force that had besieged their home. They fought with the ferocity of those who had nothing left to lose, their hearts filled with a desperate hope that somehow they might prevail. But it was a futile effort. Their strength waned, and their spirits broke under the weight of the monstrous onslaught. The creature was too powerful, an unstoppable force of nature. Too ancient, its origins lost to time. Too hungry, driven by an insatiable need to consume. As the sun rose, casting a blood-red glow over the ravaged village, the creature retreated back into the depths from whence it came. It left behind a scene of unimaginable carnage, a testament to its terrible power. The once peaceful village was now a graveyard, a silent witness to the horrors that had unfolded. The air, thick with the stench of death and decay, hung heavy over the desolate landscape. The few survivors, their faces etched with horror and grief, knew that they would never be safe again. The creature, its ancient hunger sated for now, would slumber once more in the depths, but it would return. It always did, driven by a hunger that could never be truly satisfied. And when it did, it would be hungrier than ever, ready to unleash its wrath upon the world once more.